Pauline for her speech titled Non-Verbal Communication Body Language. Time is 5 to 7 minutes. Non-verbal communication body language, Pauline. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening.
Good evening. Before I start, can I have a show of hands? How many Toastmasters are there in this room? Toastmasters? And how about non-Toastmasters? Everybody Toastmasters. Okay, my life is easy now. For most of us in Toastmasters, for some time, we all understand the importance of non-verbal communication, of how you will be able to spice up our verbal presentation. Therefore, sometimes when an evaluator comes to the stage, you will normally or usually hear comments like this: I thought your speech wonderful, and it means it's better if you dramatize your body language. You may also hear something like this: I noticed you tend to clap your hands, and I could feel that you are nervous, and sometimes you hear things like this: I think you're pacing around too much, and you're kind of distracting. Right? In Toastmasters, we put great emphasis in body language. Why? Because we, as a Toastmasters, we want to give the best performance as a speaker to our audience. However, body language, non-verbal communication, do we just use that in our Toastmasters meeting?
No.
We use non-verbal communication, body language in our daily life, every single minute, every single second in our life. Even when we are sleeping, you dream and you notice your partner next to you smiling. That is also non-verbal communication. But body language, well, we are all living things that definitely move, right? So what's the big deal of it? Now, let me go through with you why is non-verbal communication or body language is important to all of us. Now, for example, before the invention of sound systems in the movie theater, the most famous silent movie actor, Charlie Chaplin, everybody remember Charlie Chaplin? He used non-verbal communication as a tool to act out the script, a message from the movie. And for those of you who are parents, when you see your baby smile, you know she's happy. And when she cries, you know she's uncomfortable or she may be hungry. And when you feed her bottle and she suddenly turn her head away from you, you know that probably she doesn't want that particular drink that you are feeding her, or perhaps she may be full. Next up, when you are with strangers, especially of the opposite gender, you will try to observe the person's gesture. Why? Because it will somehow create an instinct. You will be able to tell whether this person is a con man or this person has any bad intentions towards you. Next up, when we travel to foreign countries and people over there speak foreign language, what do? You use body language to ask for directions, right? And lastly, last example, a very important tool. Non-verbal communication is a very, very important tool to communicate with people of special needs. For example, people with speech and hearing impairment. Over the years, there are many scientists, behavioral scientists have conducted various types of research about non-verbal communication. So I put some examples of it. The first ever research that we could trace back is done by Charles Darwin. In 1872, he published a book called The Expression of Emotion in Man and Animals, a very famous book about non-verbal communication. Secondly, Albert Mehrabian. He conducted studies and research about impact of message, and he found a ratio as such. 7% of our message is only 7% on verbal, is meaning on words, and 38% is on vocal. That would include your voice, your rhythm, inflection, and other sounds. And most importantly, 55% of your message impact is created from non-verbal communication, body gesture, facial expression, so on and so forth. on face-to-face communication. And from his research, from his observation, he came up with this finding. In face-to-face communication, less than 38% is based on verbal communication, and more than 55% is done non-verbally. And with his very famous research, he has come up with a very famous quote. That is, the fascinating thing is that the human animal is very aware of its gesture, posture, and movement that can tell one story, while its voice is telling another. So this is a very famous quote from Professor Russell study. And some of you in your heart, you may be asking me, well, body language, can I fake body language? Yes. Yes, you can. And I'm going to tell you that the answer is no. You cannot fake body language. Why? Because incongruence will occur in between your posture, your gesture, and your spoken language. That is why it happens. Why it happens? Because the subconscious mind will be sending out the nervous energy that slowly creeping into your gesture, and people around you will be able to tell it. But I'm going to tell you a very good news over here. You can positively learn body language by just using 3 very simple methods. That is, first, you can refine your gesture to the message. You can think of what is the right gesture to the message that you want to send out to the person or the audience. And secondly, perhaps if you are very hardworking, you could spend 15 minutes to half an hour a day sitting in common places to observe people around you of their gesture and posture. And lastly, you can acquire conscious awareness. How? Consciously use the gesture that you think right to send the correct message and the image that you want to project. Now,